Hello everyone. Today we'll be talking about the augmented sixth chord. We will cover how to write it, spell it, recognize it, and explain it to your friends that could really care less about what this unique chord actually does. When spelling an augmented sixth chord, you always want to start with le in the bass. Le is the lowered sixth of the tonic. Secondly, you want to put fi in the soprano, where fi is the raised fourth of the tonic. The reasoning behind this specific spelling structure is to allow contrary motion in the outer voices that leads to an octave dominant. The other two voices, alto and tenor, are what determine the ethnicity of the chord. If the chord has two tonic notes, or the dos, then it is Italian. If it has re, then the chord is French. And finally, if it has a minor third, or me, then the chord is German.
Now the trickiest part of this is learning how to recognize the chord when glancing over a Bach or Beethoven piece. First of all, you need to determine if the chord is in a major or a minor key. If the key is major, then you can expect there to be two accidentals in the chord. Fi and le will have accidentals. However, in a minor key, there will only be one accidental. This chord does have chromaticism, and so finding where it might be is as easy as looking for those sharps or flats. The crucial element in determining whether it is an augmented sixth chord is to see how the chord resolves, because this is the most important part of the chord. If the chord resolves to the dominant and both the soprano and the bass lines resolve to the octave dominant, you can rest assured that you've probably located an augmented sixth chord. Alright, so you have all this information on the augmented sixth chord, but do you really understand it? The best way to test and see if you truly understand something is to try and explain it to someone else. So here's a recap of the information covered in this video so you can explain it to the friend who fell asleep while watching it. First, writing the chord is important, so you have to know that the figured bass will look different for each type of chord, in which there are three: German, French, and Italian. To write these chords, all you have to do is remember the first few letters and the name of the chord. For example, with the German chord, you'd have to write G, E, R, the plus sign, and the number 6. Secondly, you have to understand the cultural background of your augmented sixth chord. Does it have re, me, or even a second do? Figuring this out is a huge step in understanding what kind of chord you're dealing with. And finally, when you run across a chord that might be an augmented sixth chord, you have to ask yourself a few questions. Am I in a major or minor key? And based off that answer, how many accidentals do I have? And then ask yourself, how does this chord resolve? If your answers to these questions line up with the information given in this video, congratulations! You've officially discovered the infamous augmented sixth chord.